I can actually hear more than without my hearing aid.
It has been discarded piece by piece. They discarded her mattress.
DNA evidence on the mattress is now in the lab being tested.
They discarded her prosthetic leg.
Investigators have discovered a prosthetic leg.
And now the question is, where did they discard her body?
It's very clear that this child has been murdered.
Searching an overgrown area off a county back road.
Digging with backhoes.
Search teams back to the family home in Hickory.
Digging with rakes. They're looking for evidence, sifting through the mulch and the dirt.
Hours ticking down,
looking for something.
We will continue to follow every lead.
Police have checked out 4 properties in the remote area where the family lived.
And every tip we receive.
Investigators yanked stepmommy out of her private jail cell.
We did see them pull brush and pull things out of that area.
They're getting closer and closer.
In hopes that we can come to some kind of conclusion to this investigation and bring peace to Zahra.
We are taking your calls straight out to Rochelle in Alabama. Hi, Rochelle.
Hi, Nancy. I'd like to start by saying I watch a lot of news, and I mean a lot, and you're the only person out there fighting for these kids. You're the only advocate that these children have, and I'd like to thank you, and your prime time, too. And I'd like to thank you for that, because
she doesn't watch issues.
You lend a service that nobody else even doing. You do it because of your heart.
Rochelle, thank you very much. I've got to tell you, just when one case gets solved, there'll be a flood of other cases. It's
always something. I mean, your show is always kids, pitiful children. My questions, though, are, one, has the biological mother even made an appearance? And second, is it possible that the dad could be covering for the stepmother, that she actually committed the crime and he helped to cover it up?
You know, Rochelle, to my understanding, we have heard 0 from the biological mother. She has certainly not shown up, to my understanding. And as far as, is he covering for her? My observation is either he's covering for her or they did it together in some way. And it really doesn't take as much as you would imagine for someone to become a party to a crime. Let's go back to the lawyers, Gloria Allred, Peter Ellikin, Randy Kessler. Gloria Allred, explain party to a crime or co-defendant.
Well, it may be that if he had any involvement, if that could be proven, that he might be charged with conspiracy, that in fact, if the facts warrant it. And in addition, it may be that he actually had a role in the crime if the facts support that argument as well. We don't know at this point. We don't know if he had any involvement, for example, in the writing of the ransom note. We don't know what he knew and when he knew it, but I'm sure the investigators will find out.
I know this much, Gloria. I'm going to have you take a listen to his 911 call. Liz, cue up the section where they're actually reporting Zahra missing. Not the first one where they just hand it over to police dispatch. Do you understand? Thank you. Because, Gloria Allred, if you walked in and one of your grandchildren were gone, and you called 911 with this tone and you were chatting up the 911 dispatch, I would go ahead and have you involuntarily committed, because I know you better than that. Take a listen to this, Gloria, and tell me he knew nothing. Play it, Liz.
It's Papa County 911.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
I need police.
Police 911. Where's your emergency?
Yeah, my daughter is missing.
I'm sorry? Your daughter's missing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's your address?
21 21st Avenue, Northwest. The police were out here last night. They were firing a ransom note for my boss's daughter. I got up a little while ago, and it appears they took my daughter instead of my boss's daughter.
I'm not familiar with what happened last night. What happened last night?
Last night, we were woken up. My dog woke me up, and I had a fire in the backyard, and somebody had put gas in my company vehicle that I drive for work. They left a ransom note on the company vehicle to my boss saying they had his daughter, and his son was next. And his daughter's fine. His daughter came with him here last night when I called him. And and it appears they may have taken my daughter instead of his daughter.
Okay, do you know who this was?
I don't know who.
That may have taken her?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any idea why they were threatening to take his daughter?
I don't know.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Adam Baker.
So no one has seen your daughter since 2:30 this morning?
No, like I said, we had all that drama last night, and me and my wife went back to bed. And my daughter's, I think, coming into puberty, so she's hitting that broody stage. So we only see her when she comes out, when she wants something, and that's about it.
We all read. He's laughing and joking with the 911 dispatcher. He's blaming his daughter for going through puberty at age 10, doubtful, and saying she's broody.
Well, I mean, Nancy, obviously that's all very suspect, but I'm reluctant to condemn him unless and until he has a trial.
Okay, maybe I should rephrase my question, and I'm going to throw it to Mark Class.
Better chance for
President and
Mark than
founder
the
of
lawyers.
Class Kids Foundation. His daughter Polly was kidnapped and murdered. Mark, discussing Rochelle in Alabama's question, did he know or did he take part? When a father discovers his daughter is missing and he calls like that, based on that 911 call, I would say he knew then that she was dead and the stepmother had her hand in it.
I've never heard a 911 call anything like that. There was no urgency in his voice. There was no fear or terror in his voice. It was lackadaisical. It was very much in keeping with sort of the passive nature of this guy, that he's just sort of letting things roll off of him. It sounds very disingenuous at best.
Mark Class, the girl is dead. We found her prosthetic leg. Disingenuous. You know what? I guess I'm the only one that's crazy tonight. Because when a father calls in and is so laid back and seemingly not worried about his daughter, in fact, turning the tables on a little 10-year-old girl who's fought bone cancer and is missing a leg, and he's talking about she's the broody one, and he's laughing and asking dispatch, hey, how you doing? You know what? Either he had a hand in it or he knows who did, and he's covering. So everybody else can say, no, 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 you're wrong. But that's what it sounds like to me. Victoria, North Carolina. Hi, Victoria.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, I'm a little disturbed that everybody apparently can't see the nose at the end of their face.
How you doing on the 911? I wouldn't be able to say how you doing. I would be going crazy if I knew my daughter was missing.
You know what? After I cover this case, I nearly jump out of the car and start running in traffic to get home to the twins at night. Because just the thought of what happened to this child, and when I hear that father on the phone, I just want to grab him.
It's sickening because the simple fact, the man had something to do with it. How did this letter get how did the letter even get near his boss man on his truck or whatever? Did they say it was on his truck?
It was on Victoria, North Carolina. It was on the Adam Baker's car in their driveway, is my understanding. And you can look at a note and recognize your spouse's writing. Jinkasaurus, refresh our recollection regarding the ransom note that she has admitted she wrote. His wife wrote it.
Right, it was on the dashboard in that 911 call. Listen to him. He says the craziness, all the craziness from last night, that included the ransom note and the fire. And Nancy, I've got a return of inventory from that car that had the ransom note. Listen to this, Nancy. In the 96 Chevy Tahoe, they took the center console and 2 swabs, and in parentheses, it says possible blood. Nancy, I've read many inventories. You don't have to put in parentheses possible blood. You just say you took swabbings, but they put, quote, possible blood.
And that's not all, Jinkasaurus. And remember, he's talking to 911 about all the craziness that they did themselves. The fire in their yard, the phony ransom note, they all created that. And they are telling them that even through all that, they didn't go check on their daughter. When our alarm goes off, I immediately go check the twins just to see if it woke them up, to see if they're okay. All this happened and they never checked on the little girl, Peter Ellikin. They never bothered to look in the window, make sure she's okay, look in the door, crack it, see if she's fine.
He may not be the best father. That doesn't mean he's guilty of murdering her or having anything to do with it. Everybody has a different reaction to bad news. Some people would be hysterical with histrionics. Other people would be cold as ice.
Well, Kessler,
I won't condemn him for the tone of his
Ellikin
voice.
has a point that just this one thing may just be suspicious, but when you add it all together, come on, are you people blind?
Nancy, there are a lot of explanations. Yours is one of them. But you know what? This guy was arrested for bad checks. His wife wrote a bad ransom letter. They needed money. Maybe it was something a lot less than murder. It evolved. But at that time, it may not have been murder.
I don't even know what you're saying. That's crazy talk.
It may not have been murder.
Nancy mentioned something about didn't Adam recognize his wife's handwriting? Well, come on. We all know you could write backwards, you could write slanted, you could write with your left hand. If you're creative, you could write with your foot. So, I mean, that... Sometimes, I wonder.